more and more people becoming data literate, discovery part, all of those pieces, the collaborative intelligence. Now the data is no longer a separate item. You're not saying that, hey, I will have the data and all. This is part and parcel of the product itself. The data quality becoming more and more challenge. So your product and all, have you standardized it? Is your data commoditized? Which means, are you able to plug and play data and get more insights from your product? Today, I'm consulting several top Fortune 50 companies in the world. And when I'm doing that, that's what I'm focusing on. How can I bring data literacy to the organization and help them become a data-powered organization? If you are already connected with me on LinkedIn, you will know I regularly speak at this event. And next week, I'm speaking at AWS event, Amazon Web Service, of course, on talking about how data exchange can be leveraged to give better understanding about the product on our product 890, of course. So you'll see this part that this is how the innovations are happening throughout the globe now in the data side of it. And the more people talk about it is better. Now, the other element is proactive, predictive, prescriptive, and augmented analytics. I'm sure you heard about augmented AR, VR, right? Augmented reality, virtual reality. Yeah, those are all good. Augmented insights, augmented analytics. While you're working on something, if you get analytics, why not, right? So if a store wants to set up a store in your city, which is the best zip code, pin code where it can set up? All those things are part and parcel of these insights. Reduce time to insight. No longer are the time you say, hey, I'll send you the report after the month is over 7 days later. People don't expect. People say, can I get it now? Can I have a dashboard where I can see now? Yes, it becomes more and more important. And of course, it requires compute. But I can tell you, a lot of time you don't need, if you have right logic and simple mathematics, you can get those insights much faster rather than having a huge compute. And that's what some of the things I've done. You know, right? When I talk about Outlook, we're talking about 500 million users using Outlook. When I talk about Geo, 420 million users last time I checked are using Geo. So when you're talking about such a large scale 100 million product, you cannot afford to just do it one more time. You need to be very, very detail oriented at the level of bits and bytes. That kind of innovation I'm talking about when you're talking about large scale. Of course, you can't just say, hey, our site crashed down because we had $1 billion sale and we are happy. No, you cannot be happy. Why did the site crash? It should not. As simple as that, of course, right? Tighter integration with human and AI. This is important because ultimately, it's not about just having an AI, robots, or human. It has to be integration. I don't know if you have seen in Industry 5.0. I've done a talk recently, I think last week or sometime I've done a talk on Industry 5.0. And that's the new thing which is coming up, by the way. So you need to be focused on ready with Industry 5.0. And yes, when you think about industry, don't just think about manufacturing industry and all. It's all the industry, including software industry, including the knowledge industry. Security, privacy, trust, ethical AI. More and more important part is becoming ethical. How can you be ethical? And of course, the roles of data scientist, chief data officer, chief product manager, chief product officer is becoming more and more useful. Now, yes, in some organizations, mostly organizations, CPO, chief product officer reports to chief technology officer, as my current role is as chief technology and innovation officer. A lot of those organizations, it has to be a combination of tech and your domain plus your data.